The warning klaxons aboard the MSV Horizon pierced through Captain Nadia Patel's meditation practice, jerking her back to reality. She'd spent 20 years in deep space mining operations, but nothing in her experience had prepared her for what the sensors were telling her. "Captain, to the bridge." Lieutenant Harrison's voice crackled through the comm, "We've got an unknown contact, and it's like nothing in our database." Nadia was already moving, her bare feet silent against the cold metal deck plates as she rushed to dress. The Horizon was humanity's most advanced deep space mining vessel, representing the culmination of a century of technological progress. They were 3 months out from the nearest outpost, surveying an asteroid field in the Carina sector that showed promising deposits of rare Earth elements. When she reached the bridge, the main viewscreen showed what appeared to be a ship, if you could call it that. The vessel was organic in appearance, with sweeping curves that seemed to flow like liquid metal, its surface shimmering with an iridescent purple-green hue that reminded Nadia of abalone shells from Earth's oceans. "Life signs?" she asked, settling into her command chair. "Weak but present," replied Dr. Ravi Kumar, their xenobiologist who had been relegated to serving as the ship's physician on what they'd all assumed would be a routine mining operation. "The vessel appears to be operating on minimal power. Environmental systems are failing." "First contact protocol," Nadia announced, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "All hands to stations. Weapons to defensive posture only." The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, though Nadia could see the tension in their movements. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now, on an otherwise ordinary Tuesday, they had their answer. "Captain," Harrison called out, his dark fingers dancing across his console, "the alien vessel is venting atmosphere. At current rates, they'll lose life support entirely within 3 hours." Nadia felt the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. Her next decision would represent humanity's first real interaction with an alien species. Options? "We could extend our shield bubble around their vessel," Chief Engineer Yuki Tanaka suggested from her engineering station. "The modifications would take about an hour, but it should stabilize their environment." Before Nadia could respond, Dr. Kumar's console erupted in a cascade of alerts. "Captain. Massive solar flare detected from the system's star. Magnitude exceeds anything in our records. Impact in approximately 6 hours. Can we reach safe distance in time?" "Negative," Harrison replied grimly. "The asteroid field is too dense for rapid acceleration. We'd need at least 8 hours to clear it safely." Nadia stood, studying the alien vessel on the screen. They were both trapped now, facing extinction unless they could work together. "Prep the docking collar," she ordered. "We're bringing them aboard." "Captain," Security Chief Dmitry Volkov interjected, "we have no idea what their intentions are. They could be hostile." "Noted," Nadia replied. "But they're dying out there, and that solar flare will kill us all unless we pool our resources. Sometimes the only way to survive is to take a leap of faith." She squared her shoulders. "Initiate docking procedures. All security teams on standby, non-lethal measures only. Let's make history." As the Horizon's docking collar extended toward the alien vessel, the crew watched in tense silence. The first contact protocols they'd trained for had never accounted for a scenario quite like this, two species meeting not in triumph or conflict, but in shared desperation. The docking collar made contact with a gentle thud that resonated through the ship's hull. Through the observation windows, they could see the alien vessel's airlock cycling. Moments later, it opened to reveal their first glimpse of their new guests. The beings that emerged were tall and graceful, with bodies that seemed to shimmer like their ship. Their movements were fluid, almost hypnotic, as they glided through the airlock. There were 3 of them, each at least 7 feet tall, with 4 arms and skin that rippled with colors that shouldn't have been possible. One of them stepped forward, raising all 4 hands in what appeared to be a gesture of peace. Its head tilted, and from somewhere within its crystalline body came sounds that might have been speech. Dr. Kumar activated the universal translator they developed for potential first contact scenarios, though no one really expected it to work with completely unknown languages. To everyone's surprise, patterns began emerging in the translation matrix almost immediately. They're using mathematical sequences as a foundation for communication, Kumar announced, his voice filled with wonder. It's brilliant, math truly is the universal language. The aliens' translated words filled the docking bay, we seek sanctuary. Our ship is damaged. Death comes on a solar wind. Nadia stepped forward, matching the alien's gesture with her own raised hands. We offer sanctuary, she replied clearly, knowing the translator would convert her words into mathematical sequences. But we too face the same death. Perhaps together we can find a way to survive. The alien's skin shifted to a deep blue, and its response came quickly, together then, or not at all. As the solar flare approached, human and alien would need to overcome their fears and differences quickly. Their only hope lay in combining their knowledge and technologies in ways neither species had ever imagined. The next few hours would determine not only their fate but potentially the future relationship between their civilizations, assuming they survived long enough to have one. Time was running out aboard the MSV Horizon as Chief Engineer Tanaka and her alien counterpart worked frantically to merge their technologies. The crystalline being, who had introduced itself as ZYXRA through the mathematical translation matrix, moved with incredible precision as its 4 arms manipulated both human and alien tools simultaneously. Fascinating, Yuki muttered, watching as ZYXRA's skin shifted through various spectral patterns. The color changes seemed to correspond to emotional states or possibly some form of additional communication. The alien turned its faceted head toward her, rippling a pattern of gentle greens and blues. Through the translator, it spoke, your observation is correct. We speak through light as much as through sound. Your species relies heavily on vocal communication alone. Not entirely, Yuki replied, making an exaggerated smile and then a frown. We use facial expressions and body language too. See. ZYXRA's surface shimmered with what the translator interpreted as amusement. The moment of cultural exchange was interrupted by another violent shudder through the ship's hull. The solar storm was intensifying. In the medical bay, Dr. Kumar worked alongside the second alien, designated as Telven, studying the physiological differences between their species. What had begun as necessary medical precautions had evolved into a fascinating exchange of biological knowledge. Your crystalline structure, Kumar observed, it's unlike anything we've encountered. You're silicon-based, but the complexity is extraordinary. Telven's surface rippled with scholarly excitement. As your carbon-based form is to us. We had theorized such life was possible but had never encountered it. The universe is vast, yet here we are, learning from each other at the edge of destruction. On the bridge, Captain Patel and the third alien, Sir Lox, their expedition leader, poured over stellar data from both ship sensors. The combined readings painted a grim picture. The flare is unlike anything recorded in our histories, Sir Lox communicated, its surface darkening to deep purples of concern. Our ship sensors detected unusual energy signatures before it erupted. This may not be a natural phenomenon. Nadia's eyes narrowed. Are you suggesting something triggered this flare artificially? That's beyond any technology we know of. As it is beyond ours, Sir Lox agreed. But we have encountered evidence of more advanced civilizations in our travels. Some less welcoming than others. Before Nadia could respond, Security Chief Volkov burst onto the bridge. Captain, we're picking up new contacts. 3 ships just dropped out of FTL at the edge of the asteroid field. The main viewscreen shifted to show 3 sleek, predatory vessels of unknown design. They were neither human nor of the crystalline alien's origin. Pirates, Sir Lox's surface flashed crimson with recognition. They prey upon damaged or isolated ships. We have encountered their kind before. They show no mercy. They're broadcasting, Harrison reported from his station. Audio only. A gravelly voice filled the bridge. Attention disabled vessels. Your situation appears dire. Submit to boarding and salvage rights, and we may permit your survival. Resist, and face immediate destruction. You have 10 minutes to comply. Nadia exchanged looks with Sir Lox, whose crystalline form now pulsed with combinations of red and gold that the translator interpreted as both anger and determination. It seems, Nadia said carefully, we face more than one enemy today. The solar flare will kill us all if we don't find a solution, but these pirates. They underestimate us, Sir Lox interrupted, its surface now showing complex patterns that the translator took several seconds to process. They see two damaged ships of different origins and assume we are working against each other, not together. This is an advantage. A slow smile spread across Nadia's face. Your people's technology specializes in energy manipulation, while we excel at kinetic weapons and tactical maneuvers. If we combine our capabilities. Yes, Sir Lox's form brightened. We may yet survive both threats. But it will require trust. Complete trust. Nadia stood, squaring her shoulders. You trusted us enough to come aboard when your ship was failing. We trusted you enough to let you. I'd say we're already on the right path. The crystalline being's surface erupted in patterns of brilliant gold and silver that needed no translation to understand, hope and resolve. In engineering, Yuki and ZYXRA had overheard the exchange through the ship's comm system. They looked at each other, then at their half-finished work combining their technologies. If we reverse the polarity of your shield harmonics, Yuki said slowly, and couple them with our deflector array. We could create a resonance field strong enough to protect against the solar flare, ZYXRA finished, its surface flickering with rapid calculations. But the power requirements would leave us vulnerable to the pirates, Yuki concluded. Unless we find a way to use the flare itself against them, ZYXRA's surface blazed with inspiration. Your weapons. Our energy manipulation. The solar flare's power. They were already moving, 4 alien hands and 2 human ones flying over control surfaces with newfound synchronization. In the medical bay, Dr. Kumar and Telven were reaching similar conclusions about how their different biologies might offer unexpected advantages in the coming fight. They had just under 10 minutes to turn 2 damaged ships and 2 desperate crews into a unified fighting force. The pirates had no idea they'd just given their intended victims exactly what they needed most, a common enemy and a deadline. As Nadia watched her crew working seamlessly alongside their alien counterparts, she realized that sometimes the greatest innovations came from the most desperate circumstances. They had started this day as 2 separate species facing extinction. They would end it either as unified survivors or not at all. 3 minutes until they expect our surrender, Nadia announced to the combined crews gathered in the Horizon's engineering bay. The makeshift command center hummed with activity as humans and crystalline beings worked in perfect synchronization, their earlier fears forgotten in the face of survival. Yuki and ZYXRA had accomplished what seemed impossible mere hours ago. The Horizon's main deflector array now pulsed with an alien energy signature, crystalline matrices interwoven with human technology in ways that defied conventional engineering. The modification is complete, ZYXRA announced, its surface shimmering with mathematical equations. We can channel the solar flare's energy through your deflector array, using our crystalline technology to focus and redirect it. But we'll only get one shot at this, Yuki added, her fingers dancing across the hybrid control interface they'd created. Miss, and we'll be defenseless against both the flare and the pirates. Dr. Kumar burst into engineering, Telven close behind. Captain, we've made a discovery about the pirates' ships, the doctor announced breathlessly. Telven recognized their energy signatures. They're using stolen technology from multiple species. Telven's surface rippled with dark patterns of concern. These raiders have been systematically hunting vulnerable ships across multiple sectors, stealing advanced technology and adding it to their own. They are scavengers of the worst kind. 1 minute remaining, Harrison's voice came through the comm. Nadia turned to Sir Lox, who had been studying tactical displays with Security Chief Volkov. Are you certain about this plan? We'll be risking everything. The crystalline leader's surface pulsed with confident gold patterns. My people have a saying, in the darkest void, new stars are born. We choose to trust in our combined strength. Incoming transmission from the pirate vessels, Harrison reported. Put them through, Nadia ordered. Let's give them a show. The gravelly voice filled engineering once more, your time is up. What is your answer? Nadia squared her shoulders. This is Captain Patel of the MSV Horizon. We've discussed your generous offer with our new allies. Here's our response. She nodded to Yuki and ZYXRA. Their 4 hands moved in perfect coordination across the hybrid controls. The Horizon's engines roared to life, but instead of fleeing, the ship dove deeper into the asteroid field. The pirates' ships immediately began pursuit, exactly as planned. They're following, Volkov reported with grim satisfaction. All 3 vessels. The Horizon weaved through the asteroid field with impossible precision, its movements guided by the combined expertise of human pilots and crystalline navigation. Behind them, the pirate ships struggled to keep pace, their stolen technologies working against each other as they attempted to match the Horizon's maneuvers. Solar flare approaching critical distance, Dr. Kumar announced, monitoring the sensors with Telvan energy levels are beyond anything we've recorded. Now. Nadia commanded. Yuki and ZYXRA activated their hybrid system. The Horizon's deflector array blazed with crystalline energy, catching the leading edge of the solar flare and channeling it through the modified systems. The ship shuddered under the strain as raw stellar power coursed through its reconfigured systems. Energy containment at maximum, ZYXRA reported, its surface flickering with rapid calculations. Ready to redirect. Target locked on all 3 vessels, Volkov confirmed. Nadia took a deep breath. Fire. The Horizon's deflector dish released its gathered energy in a focused burst, the solar flare's power transformed into a weapon through the merged technologies of 2 species. The beam split into 3 precise streams, guided by crystalline focusing arrays to strike each pirate vessel simultaneously. The effect was devastating. The pirates' stolen shields, incompatible technologies cobbled together without true understanding, collapsed under the assault. Their engines went dark, and their weapon systems failed as the channeled solar energy overwhelmed their systems. But they had no time to celebrate. The main solar flare was still approaching, and even their combined technologies couldn't protect them for long at this range. All power to engines, Nadia ordered. Get us out of this asteroid field. The Horizon surged forward, leaving the disabled pirate ships behind. As they cleared the last asteroids, their sensors detected multiple new contacts emerging from FTL travel. More ships, Harrison reported tensely. Then his face broke into a relieved smile. They're ours. Earth Defense Fleet signatures. The fleet had detected the massive solar flare and come to investigate, arriving just in time to witness the aftermath of the battle. As the Horizon's crew began emergency procedures to protect against the approaching flare, Nadia turned to Sir Lox. I'd say this is the beginning of a beautiful alliance, she said. The crystalline leader's surface rippled with patterns of agreement, but also concern. Yes, but also perhaps the beginning of something larger. The pirates' use of stolen technology suggests organization beyond simple raids. Someone is collecting advanced technology from across the galaxy. The question is, why? As the Earth Defense Fleet moved to secure the disabled pirate vessels and assist the Horizon, Nadia realized that their adventure was far from over. They had survived their first challenge as allies, but the mystery of who was behind these technological theft operations still loomed before them. Telven approached, its surface showing patterns of deep thought. In our culture's history, there are stories of ancient beings who once ruled the stars. They left behind technologies beyond comprehension. Perhaps what we face is not just pirates, but someone searching for these lost powers. The implications sent a chill down Nadia's spine. Their two species had just proven how powerful combining technologies could be. In the wrong hands, ancient technologies from multiple advanced civilizations could reshape the galaxy itself. The combined Earth defense fleet and crystalline vessels hung in high orbit around an abandoned space station at the edge of the Carina sector. 6 weeks had passed since the solar flare incident, and what they'd discovered from the captured pirates had changed everything. Nadia stood on the Horizon's bridge, now modified with both human and crystalline technology, studying holographic projections that filled the command center. Surlox floated beside her, its crystalline surface reflecting the stark data before them. The pattern is undeniable, the alien leader communicated, geometric patterns rippling across its surface. Every major solar flare in the past year has been artificially triggered. Someone is testing a weapon of unprecedented scale. Using stars themselves as weapons, Nadia muttered. The implications were terrifying. Their investigation of the pirate ships had revealed a complex network of technology collectors working for an unknown entity. The stolen tech wasn't random, it all centered around energy manipulation and stellar mechanics. Dr. Kumar and Telven had spent weeks analyzing the pirates' database. They burst onto the bridge now, their excitement palpable. "Captain, we found it," Kumar announced. The coordinates were encrypted in the pirates' navigation logs. "We know where they're taking the stolen technology." Telven's surface blazed with urgent patterns. "The location matches ancient warnings in our historical records. A place our ancestors called the Forge of Stars." The main viewscreen shifted to show a distant star system, unremarkable except for one detail: it contained 7 pulsars in an impossible geometric arrangement. "This can't be natural," Yuki said from her engineering station. She and ZYXRA had become inseparable, their combined understanding of technology leading to innovations that neither species had dreamed possible. "It isn't," Surlox confirmed. "The system was engineered billions of years ago by beings our legends call the stellar architects. They possessed technology that could move and manipulate stars themselves." Harrison's console suddenly erupted with alerts. Multiple ships dropping out of FTL. They're using both human and crystalline drive signatures. The viewscreen filled with warships of mixed design, stolen and modified technology cobbled together into monstrous hybrids. At their center was a vessel larger than anything they'd ever encountered, its surface crawling with energy patterns that made both humans and crystalline beings recoil. "Attention combined fleet," a voice thundered through all communication channels. "I am Admiral Perseus, last guardian of the stellar architect's legacy. For millennia, we have watched lesser species squander the galaxy's resources with their petty conflicts. Now you dare to unite, to combine your primitive technologies. This cannot be permitted." The solar flares, Nadia realized. They were tests. "Yes," Perseus confirmed. "The architects left behind tools to cleanse the galaxy when necessary. Your cooperation threatens the natural order. Separate species must remain separate, or all will be purged." Surlox moved forward, its surface burning with defiance. "You corrupt our ancestors' legacy. They left their knowledge to guide us toward unity, not enforce division. Your kind always was sentimental," Perseus sneered. "The architects chose us as guardians because we understand that true order requires strength. Behold the power of their wisdom." The massive ship began to pulse with familiar energy patterns. Nearby stars flickered ominously. "He's activating the stellar weapon." ZYXRA's surface flashed warning patterns. "The configuration of pulsars, it's a power source for something much larger. All ships, battle stations." Nadia commanded. But she knew their combined fleet, impressive as it was, might not be enough against technology that could weaponize stars themselves. That's when Dr. Kumar made a startling observation. "Captain, look at the energy patterns. They're using a crude combination of our technologies to channel the architect's power. The integration is unstable." Telven's surface rippled with sudden understanding. Yes. They understand how to activate the ancient devices, but not how to properly merge different technological approaches. Unlike us. Yuki and ZYXRA exchanged looks of revelation. "The hybrid systems we've developed," Yuki began, "could be the key to overloading their control." ZYXRA finished. "If we can get close enough," Nadia said, studying the massive ship. "We will create that opportunity," Sherlock declared. "My ships will draw their fire while the horizon moves into position. Our trust in each other is our strength. Their fear of cooperation is their weakness." As the combined fleet moved into attack formation, Nadia felt the weight of history upon them once again. Just as their first meeting had come in a moment of crisis, now the future of both their species, perhaps all species, would be decided in the next few minutes. The Horizon's hybrid crew worked with practiced efficiency, human and crystalline beings moving in perfect coordination. They had once been strangers divided by fear and difference. Now they were a family forged in crisis, united in purpose. Perseus' next words echoed through the command center: "You have one last chance to surrender and return to your natural, separate states. Refuse, and face extinction." Nadia looked at her crew, at the beings who had become far more than allies. "We choose unity," she declared. "And we choose to fight." The battle for the future of galactic civilization was about to begin. The void between the pulsars erupted in a symphony of light and energy as Perseus' fleet engaged the combined human crystalline forces. The Horizon dove through the chaos, its hybrid systems humming with power as it executed maneuvers that should have been impossible for a vessel its size. "Shield status." Nadia called out as another blast rocked the ship. Holding at 60%, Yuki reported from her station, her hands flying over controls while ZYXRA manipulated crystalline interfaces beside her. "The integration of our technologies is actually growing stronger under stress. Like diamonds forming under pressure," Dr. Kumar observed from his medical station, where he and Telven monitored the crew's vital signs, both human and crystalline. Sherlock's surface flickered with tactical patterns as it coordinated with the fleet. "Our forces are drawing their main ships away from the central vessel. But Perseus is adapting, learning our strategies." Through the view screen, they watched as one of the crystalline ships sacrificed itself to protect an Earth vessel, its crew teleporting to safety at the last second using merged transportation technology. The cooperation between the species was proving more effective than either side's individual tactics. "They protect each other without hesitation now," Perseus' voice boomed across the communications channel. "This is exactly what we sought to prevent. Such unity leads to chaos." "You're wrong," Nadia shouted back. "Look around you, our chaos is actually harmony. Your enforced order is the true destruction." Harrison's console lit up with urgent warnings. "Captain, energy spike from the central ship. They're channeling power from all 7 pulsars." "The weapon is powering up," Sherlock announced, its surface dark with concern. "If it reaches full charge, it can trigger simultaneous solar flares across hundreds of light years. Billions will die." "Not if we can help it," Yuki declared. She and ZYXRA had been working frantically at their hybrid station. "Captain, we have a plan, but it's risky." "Our hybrid systems," ZYXRA explained, its surface flickering with complex calculations, "they're not just more efficient than Perseus' crude combinations, they're actually more in tune with the architect's original technology. We can use that." Nadia leaned forward. "Explain." "The architects didn't leave behind weapons," Telven interjected, its surface pulsing with revelation. "They left tools for bringing species together. Perseus and his followers have corrupted their purpose. If we can get close enough to their main ship, Yuki continued, we can use our truly integrated systems to interface with the Architect's technology. Show it what real cooperation looks like. It's suicide, Volkov warned from Tactical. We'd have to drop our shields to establish the connection. Then we better not miss, Nadia said firmly. She opened a channel to the fleet. All ships, this is the horizon. Concentrate fire on these coordinates. We need a path to that main ship. The response was immediate. Human and crystalline ships moved as one, their combined tactics creating a corridor through the chaos of battle. The horizon accelerated, its hybrid engines pushing past designed limits as they drove toward Perseus' massive vessel. They see what we're doing, Harrison reported tensely. 2 ships moving to intercept. Not for long, Sherlock declared. Its surface blazed with command patterns as it directed the last of the crystalline fleet. 3 ships performed an intricate maneuver, their combined energy beams creating a shockwave that scattered the interceptors. Receiving targeting data from Earth vessels, Volkov announced. They're painting weak points in Perseus' shield grid. The horizon shuddered under intense fire, but pressed forward. In engineering, Yuki and Ziwaxare's hands moved in perfect synchronization across their hybrid controls, pushing their merged technologies to the limit. Impact in 10 seconds. Harrison called out. Shields failing. Now. Nadia commanded. The Horizon's hybrid systems reached out to the ancient technology at the heart of Perseus' ship. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the massive vessel's surface began to pulse with new patterns, not the crude, forced combinations Perseus had created, but the smooth integration of truly unified technologies. No. Perseus' voice thundered. What are you doing? Showing the Architect's legacy its true purpose, Sherlock replied calmly. Energy cascaded between the pulsars, but instead of weaponizing their power, it created something else, a network of connections, bridges of light linking every ship in range. Through these connections flowed understanding, the true gift the Architects had left behind. Perseus' followers, touched by this revelation, began standing down. The truth could no longer be denied, cooperation between species didn't lead to chaos, but to possibilities beyond imagination. This changes nothing. Perseus raged, but his voice was drowned out by the harmony of unified technologies singing together across space. In the months that followed, the discovery of the Architect's true legacy revolutionized galactic society. The combined human crystalline fleet became the cornerstone of a new alliance, their hybrid technologies lighting the way for other species to join them. The Horizon remained at the forefront of this new age, its crew a living example of what was possible when differences became strengths and fear gave way to trust. The Architects weren't looking for guardians, Nadia wrote in her final log entry. They were looking for children brave enough to grow up, to reach across the darkness between stars and take each other's hands. To forge something greater than the sum of its parts. She looked around her bridge, at the humans and crystalline beings working together as if they'd never known any other way. Their differences hadn't faded, they'd become the very things that made them stronger together. Far below, the 7 pulsars continued their ancient dance, no longer a weapon but a beacon, calling out to all species ready to take their place in a unified galaxy. The age of separation was over. The legacy of unity had begun.